everybody, this is M. Brower. I was totally surprised this Syntakt comes and wow, this is a great machine. Today I'm going to take a close look at the Syntakt and try to answer the most important question from my point of view and list a few pros and cons, but it's only my opinion. But I will not go into the functions of the Syntakt directly, so there will be no tutorial here. If you want a tutorial, let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get started. The most important question, can the Syntakt Techno? Yes, it can. Okay, let's have a look. The machines of the model cycles and some analog machines of the rhythms are built into the Syntakt. This leads to two other important questions, but more on that later. A handful of new digital machines have also been added, like the clap, the synth engine toy and bits, and also a few of the snare engines, but I'm not sure at that. I don't remember them. I think the rest will be certainly known, and I would therefore become straight to the points that particularly excited me. So first things first, on every track there are two LFOs. Even on the analog tracks, two LFOs. That is so awesome. Now please, hand on Elektron, put it on the rhythm. It would be nice, very nice. Also great, the analog machines are actually in tune now. If you know the rhythm, you probably also know the tuning table. That's all history. You can now finally adjust all analog machines properly. The dual VCO is finally what you would expect from synthesizer. No special tuning, anything like that. It's all in semitones. This is so great. Bring it for the rhythm, please. Anti-amp finally can now work as ADSR envelope. Even on the analog machine. You can set it up for AHD or ADSR. This is so great and makes a huge difference with so many sounds. Before that you always have to sacrifice an LFO on the rhythm, but here it's finally over. And the digital clap machine. This is the best clap machine I ever heard. There is no better one. I'm so excited. The purchase is almost worth it. Okay, but only almost. The box is very expensive, but you can have so many options to balance that in different points and bring it to punch how you need it. This clap is great. Really great. And another little piece of news that I found quite nice. The analog filter here, you see, has a shelf mode, a low shelf mode and a high shelf mode, which might be useful, but I haven't gotten around to trying it out in depth yet. I think this has many cases where it will be useful. Unfortunately, there is not only light in the Syntakt but also a few dark sides, and I want to go into that now. And now we come to the cons. The price has gone up quite a bit, over 200 more bucks for the Syntakt than for the Digitakt or Digitone. That's a lot of money, especially when you consider the machines from Akai, like the Force or the Live, the Deluxe or Roland's MC707. Everyone has to decide for themselves whether the box is worth it, but the competition is fierce. I will tell you later how I decided, but keep in mind there are much more opinions on the market. Another big problem for me is the performance possibilities. As with the Digitakt and Digitone, the Syntakt is somewhat limited, especially since there are still no macro controls like on the Analog 4, the Rytm or the Octatrack. In addition to the control everything and pattern reload, there are now also the mod buttons here, the 13, 14, 15 and 16, but they are currently only of limited use. If you do finger drumming, maybe that's nice, but then really velocity sensitive pads are missing. Otherwise, I use them for some interesting fade outs, but even that has its pitfalls. For example, if I fade out the kick with the buttons, I can't mute them afterwards. That's shit. And why doesn't this work on already set steps? Elektron still has to make significant improvements here. This is maybe possible with a software update. Okay, another problem is the FX track. It's actually pretty cool that there is a global filter, distortion and ducking, but they're all on the same track. Why the hell are all on the same track? I need the filter and distortion on the kick and ducking on the synths and heads, so I always have to decide if I want one or the other. Why I can't split this up as I need it. I don't know if this can be improved with software, but it's really not good that way. Why? I don't know. And since we are bitching, why isn't there a master compressor? The Digitakt has one, the Elektron Rytm has one, why not the Syntakt? Another but rather minor point that bothers me is that unlike the Rytm, there is no separate level for the machines. So if you go there, you find at the position of normally leveling anything, there is the overdrive. I can understand that, otherwise there would have been no more room for the ADSR envelope here at this page. So there is no space for the overdrive, but on the Rytm I like to use one of the internal gains for modulations, one for adjusting volume and the level meter for performance. This has now become a bit more uncomfortable with less, especially when you find out during production that you still have to adjust the volume. It's often not so easy. Okay, that's my point of cons. I still are a few answers to questions to have risen in the meantime. So the first question, can the Syntakt replace the model cycles? I would say yes. With the model cycles you have the cheaper price and a little more direction control with the separated knobs. But if you wanted to buy the Syntakt anyway, you can sell the cycles with peace of mind. I will definitely sell mine now if anyone else wants it. So the more interesting question, can the Syntakt replace the Rytm? If you just want a sound machine that gives you something to touch while you're mainly working in the DAW, you may be looking for some inspiration here and there on the couch, yes, then the Syntakt can replace the Rytm. But if you go on a step further and want to complete productions, live performance and so on, then the Syntakt will quickly reach its limits. I much prefer the Rytm with its performance pads, scenes and sampling. Will I keep the Syntakt? Maybe you have guessed it already. I will definitely keep it. It will accompany the Rytm in the future, supported with even more dual VCO power and bring the best clap I have ever heard. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more videos about the Rytm, check the descriptions. Thank you and good night.